So that's a whole nother mental challenge for our players because you fall in the habits of seeing the same thing day in and day out, and all of a sudden you might get some different formations, some different looks that you haven't seen. So now you're seeing who can respond to that. Because really, since we have been here and been installing the defense, we've been installing it against Miami's offense, and now we've got to transition to go play against those teams. And so it's mentally, you see some guys that can handle that quite easily, and some guys are still a step behind.
Manny, where do you stand with the starting corner battle between Adrian and Sheldrick at this point?
It's still back and forth. I don't really think we want to make a call on that because we don't want the competition to end. So I think that's something that we still continue to evaluate every day. Certainly we need all those guys to play, and we will roll all those guys, but in terms of who trots out there first, still really undecided.
Have those two both had good camps? Would you like to see more from
Yeah,
everyone?
well, I mean, as a coach, you're always going to want to see more. I think overall you would consider their camps as being positive, but they play a position where there's just such little margin for error, and again, a guy like Colbert who has, you can tell his age and experience, the urgency of knowing that this is my last go around. A guy like Redwine who we really like, but all of a sudden has been, like as we say, we hold him to a standard that he's an older guy, and you have to remind yourself he's only been here for a year. So, but we need them both to have a chance.
So what about the fourth safety? I guess who's kind of flashed. Has anybody emerged in that spot for you?
Yeah, well, it's the same thing. It goes back and forth. We have been pleased by the development of Robert Knowles and how he has improved since the time he's been here, going from where we started off in spring practice. And because as we start trying to make some decisions on some sub packages and going with some extra defensive backs on the field, a lot of times your comfort level with that is based off of who can go in the game behind them. So Robert's done well. Certainly we were pleased to see the plays that Romeo made yesterday, but it's still, in terms of being able to handle just what offenses are throwing at you, not even the complexity of a defense. It's just defense is defending something. So what's seeing all these things and the high tempo offenses that we've got coming at us, we need those guys to be able to be game ready, and that's still a different step.
Obviously, it's going to be a week by week thing with how you defend teams, but with what you have with your nickel defense right now, what you potentially could have when you name the starting lineup, do you feel comfortable that could be a defense that you play more often than just kind of against a passing team? Is that strong enough to be on the field a lot?
It really, you don't know, because if we have 5 defensive backs on the field, are they going to play every snap against a tempo offense? Okay, well then who goes in when they're not in? So is the nickel a third safety or is it a third corner? Okay, well if you have all your corners are in or all of your safeties in, how do you feel about 4 and 5? So that's really the pause that we have right now. We've really only introduced nickel for a day. Today, nickel is like an hour and a half old. So just because we want to have the flexibility to be able to go to it, but it's still, we still really have to find out by next Saturday really what we feel like we can do best, and that will change week in, week out, because we do have guys. Romeo Finley's going to be a much better player in November than he's going to be in September, but so is Zach McLeod. So that's a challenge in terms of how we try to fit our best personnel in the field.
Does Adrian's development allow you to have the option of putting Corn inside, kind of like third and long in situations like that?
Yeah, it just allows. It's the same conversation. If we didn't have them, you'd want to make multiple corners, and try and put them everywhere. So I think having a guy like that, along with Redwine, at least you have some ability. When you felt like you play a 3-corner defense, but the issue again comes into how long. Situationally on third down, okay, yeah, that might make some sense, but that's where the challenge comes within our depth. You're never going to make it through the season without a defensive back against the game for something.
Right.
So that's where it gets a little bit sketchy.